In this video, I'm going to show you how to research your area to see if it's going to work for Airbnb. And I'm going to use a platform called AirDNA, which is by far the best thing you can do.
It's true.
Now, I asked some of you guys for suggestions of places I should research, and you very kindly obliged, so I'm going to dive into those. And to be honest, I have not looked at these myself first, so we're going to be learning together.
Learning is fun.
So the first place we're going to look at is sent in by Jasmine Dare, and it's Upper Bugle Street, Southampton in the UK. Okay, so we're going to just dive straight into Southampton, and then we'll be able to narrow it down based on the submarkets. So quite a lot of Airbnbs in Southampton already. This is what AirDNA looks like whenever you start to dive into a specific location. It gives you submarket score. So this one is 55. It is out of 100, and that's based off rental demand, revenue growth, seasonality, and regulation. Straight away, we can see here the average annual revenue is about £18,000. An occupancy rate of 57%. These aren't great numbers so far. Average daily rate of £106. Again, not amazing, but let's see what we've got here. I can see, let me just find out, where is Upper Bugle Street? This is it. This is now showing as a breakdown of the sub-market performance. Now this is showing all of Southampton. There's 934 active listings in this place. Vast majority are on Airbnb, a lot are on both, Verbo as well. It doesn't show data from Booking.com or Expedia. We can look at the breakdown of the types of properties that are available in Southampton. Now, as I say, I haven't looked at any of this before. This is brand new information to me, so I'm going to be reacting to this in real time. But straight away, 55% of all properties in Southampton are one bedroom. Like that stands out to me. Why is that the case? And what then stands out to me straight away is interesting is almost a third of 2-bedroom, but only less than 10% are 3-bedroom. That to me screams like an opportunity, that if you can bring a 3-bedroom property to the market in Southampton, that you're going to have far fewer competition. We can see the growth in the last 3 years, so it went pretty high, and then all of a sudden something happened at the end of the summer or the middle of the summer in 2022. Again, grown again, and then dipped down again. Maybe this is like student accommodation that's coming online for Airbnbs or whatever, and then it goes back offline and goes back to student accommodation. Vast majority, almost 2/3, over 2/3 is the entire place. Some people are doing private rooms, and we can see different types of cancellation policies that people offer here. I'm not thrilled by this occupancy rate of 57%. The length of stay average, 3 days, is great, and the booking lead time, 41 days. So that's how far in advance that people book before they come and stay. And this is actually really interesting because it shows, yes, there is a bit of seasonality, but it's quite flat. I think we'll look in some other places. Certainly I know in Belfast that demand peaks in the summer and dips very quite low in the winter. There's a bit of this here, but you know, in the lowest portion, it's down to 44% occupancy in January, and at the height in August, it's up to 69.7. So sort of level, which is actually a really good sign for this area. This shows the breakdown of how many different property sizes are available throughout the year, the demand that's changed over time, and this shows the revenue and the breakdown of it. So the average revenue is almost 18k, which, as I say, is disappointing for somewhere. It may be because the vast majority of places in Southampton that we've seen are 1-bedrooms, and that's why it's lower. A house is on average even less, 16.5k, whereas an apartment is almost the 19k there. So it's the houses that are actually dragging this down. And then the revenue breakdown over the year. So in the quietest months, 1k, not anything exciting whatsoever, whereas in the peak, 1.9, again, still not fantastic, not setting the world on fire. This is interesting. Now look at this is the breakdown against the type of property, how many rooms it offers. So we know that the most populated type of property is a 1-bedroom, then 2, but if we take the 2s and we compare the smallest place to the biggest place, look at the difference in the revenue that can be got. The 1-bed all the way through is at 1, 1.3, 1.2 the whole way through. But if you have a 6-bed plus, which I know you're not going to have, you could be charging up to 10k in 1 month in in June. Like insane numbers. Now that's obviously unrealistic, but if we were to compare that with a 3-bedroom property, which is potentially more realistic, there are more of them, nowhere near as many as the 1-beds, and probably more than there are 6-beds. It's something that you could aspire to get. Look at the difference, the gulf in the revenue from these two types of properties. Even if we take that off and go from 1 to a 2, look at the difference there. Now if we go from a 2 to a 3, you can see why I'm always saying the bigger the property, the better. The more people that you can squeeze in, the higher the returns you're going to get. Yes, these properties are going to cost more, but the return on that investment is going to be huge. Now, I want to actually look at some properties. So this, I believe, is Upper Bugle Street. Now let's look at some of the properties that are around here. So we can see here, Stazo Castle Point. Let's just open this up a bit. So this is probably Upper Bugle Street, somewhere around here. Let's look and see what sort of revenues can be achieved. So the beauty of AirDNA is it shows you the actual real listings on Airbnb. It shows you their revenue, their occupancy, their average daily rate. You know, it's really good of spying almost on competition, on places that are already operating, so you can see what's possible for your place before you even buy it or bring it to the market. Now, at 31% occupancy and 53% occupancy, I would not be thrilled with these numbers. 10 reviews, average score 4.2. This one has 17, average score 4.4. They look like they're relatively new to the market. Maybe have only just come on in this last year. They still have available of 167 days. It does seem like this place is relatively new, and that's why they have lower occupancy and lower nightly rates and lower revenue in total. And this is a 2-bedroom property, which has done significantly more than the 1-bedroom, as you would expect, because there's so many other 1-bedroom properties out there. But this one is going to struggle to get ahead of those. Now, it does look nice, but as soon as you start sleeping 6 people in a 2-bedroom property, you're automatically head and shoulders above all those other 1-beds that are in the area. Again, this is a place that 100% occupancy, but £984, average daily rate of £89 for a 2-bedroom property. Not a good sign. So I'm yet to see anything that's really blowing my socks off here. These are generally 1-bedroom properties. They generally have low occupancy, low revenues. I'm not sure, like this looks like a new property, 7 reviews, 4.4. I'm not sure what the competition is like in these places, what the rent is like in these places. Are these places going to actually be doing better for Airbnb compared to long-term rents or the student accommodation? I don't know. I don't know enough about Southampton to know. This place is interesting. So a 4-bedroom property, 108 reviews, 5 stars, 70k, 85% occupancy, average daily rate of 227. Now we're talking 3-bedroom property, 62k revenue, another 4-bedroom, 13. This looks like it's brand new because there's no reviews, but you can see straight away these bigger places attract bigger groups and can charge much higher nightly rates. Don't know what it is about Southampton. There seems to be, according to the data, tons of 1-bedroom properties. If you are looking to set up in this city, in this street, don't get a 1-bed. Go for as big as you can get. Okay, now we're finished in Upper Bugle Street. Next we go from Let's Adventure Together to La Préneuse in Black River, Mauritius. Yeah, I think it's this one. Oh wow. So in this one, we've got a market score of 84 out of 100. So straight away, this is looking great. Average revenue, €19,000. Occupancy rate, 59%. Average daily rate, €125. Not amazing. Now, I've never been to Mauritius, but I've heard it's beautiful. I would have expected that the nightly rates would have been higher, that the annual revenues would have been higher. But let's delve into the data and we'll have a look and see what's under the hood. So 1,490 active listings. So there is a lot of competition here, as you may expect. If we look here, the size of the properties are much more spread compared to Southampton. Roughly a quarter, exactly a quarter are 1-bedroom, slightly over a quarter are 2-bedroom, and then we get up into the 35%. That's really interesting. The most common property size is 3-bedroom. That's strange. I wouldn't have expected that anywhere really, and I wonder why that is. The growth has been pretty steady, a few bumps along the road, and the vast majority, 92%, is the entire place. Not many people are renting out their room in Mauritius. Big property managers here, luxury villas, location, Villa, Maurice, 26 listings, 20. So there are pretty big established players in this area. My average length of stay is 5 days. That's a solid chunky length of stay. Obviously people are coming here for a prolonged period of time. It's not just like a weekend destination or somewhere people are just flying in and out of, which is good because longer stays means lower changeover costs and a booking lead time of 57 days, almost 2 months, which is great. It means you've got a big run up calendar that's hopefully got bookings in it way into the future. Occupancy rate of 59%. It is disappointing. I always think an optimal occupancy rate is around 85% and you want to adjust your rates up and down to try and keep that stable at 85%. Again, interestingly, it's not massively seasonal. It does dip. Interestingly, June, summer, is the lowest occupancy, 45%, and November is the highest at 75.6%. Now, I don't actually know where Mauritius is, but maybe it gets just too hot in the summer and it's not good to go to, or maybe it's on the southern hemisphere and it's actually summer and winter. I don't know. Now, I want to delve down to see the revenue per bedroom over the last 12 months. So the biggest, most common one was 3 bedrooms, and these two were very small. Hardly anyone was doing these. I think a quarter and a quarter. Once you get up into this, interestingly, this 6-bedroom actually doesn't do very well at all. So the demand is not really there for 6+ bedrooms. We'll take that one out. 5 bedrooms seems to be the massive one of where you can charge the absolute highest. There's a marginal increase from a 4-bedroom to a 3, but in the 1 and 2 there really isn't that much, and actually they're very low. I would just cut those out straight away and not even look at them and go as a minimum from a 3-bedroom. But if you can get a 4-bedroom, even better. That is where the real money is. I don't know how many of these 5 bedrooms exist, but they can charge almost whatever they want. Like in the highest nightly rate, or the highest revenue for a 5 bedroom is over 7,000 euros in 1 month. And this is the average daily rate per bedroom type. So again, the 1 bedrooms, we can cut across here. So in the busiest time, which is December, the 6 bedroom is charging over 360 euros per night. The 5 bedroom is 630 euros per night. The 1 bedroom is a measly 69 euros a night. Not really worth it at all. Now, I want to get in and have a look. La Prunus. Oh, here it is. I can see it. So here is La Prunus. I hope I'm saying that right. Now, I don't know if it's just this area or this entire area, but we're going to look at some that are closest to the word. This place looks relatively new. 7 reviews, 4.8. It's a 1 bedroom, sleeps 2. It's ticking along. It looks like it's got sea views, but it's nothing that's gonna set the world on fire. Now we're talking a 6 bedroom manor villa. Again, looks brand new because there's no reviews. Only 23% occupant. It's fine, it's just getting started. I would discount this as well. All these algorithms, they all go a bit weird and a bit unreliable whenever a place is just new. But to sleep 12 people in a 6 bedroom villa, this place is gonna be going places. Again, this place looks great. So 3 bedroom, sleep 6 people. It's relatively established, 12 reviews, 5 stars, average daily rate 583 euros. That is doing well. 54% occupancy. Let's dive into it a bit more. It looks great. So on AirDNA, you can go right into the calendar, see the bookings, see when is available. This place looks good. So I hope if you are Let's Adventure Together that you are able to get a place that looks as good as that in that area. Next up, we have L. Davidson, who is saying Toledo, Ohio. So we're in the Ohio area. It's not recognizing Toledo straight away. I'm going to go into the submarkets and see if I can find it. Again, I do not know this area. This is the first time I've looked at it. There are some absolute killer listings here, or submarkets. 99, 100, Springfield, Ohio, but we're looking for Toledo. There it is. So 87, submarket score of 87, high investability in here. This looks nice. Average revenue, $18,000, occupancy rate 50%. Again, it's not great. This is a very wide area. It's going to cover a lot of properties and it lumps them all in to get these averages. So all is not lost. This shows me that there is massive potential here. Average daily rate, $131. Now let's delve into it a bit more. Again, 40% 1 bedroom properties. Next, nearly 30% 2 bedroom properties, 3 bedroom properties, only 21%. But look, this looks like it's got real potential. There's only 65 properties in this entire area that are 4 bedroom or more. And let's delve in, we'll look at the data and we'll see potentially, is that going to have the highest nightly rates? Average length of stay 3 days, not great. Booking lead time 36 days, which is good. The demand over time, so no demand almost at all in January and huge demand up in the summer. So looks like this is a very sort of seasonal place. And yeah, you can really see that huge changes throughout the year. Now, let's see how the revenue differs per amount of bedrooms in the property. Now, these are quite tight, these numbers. The 1 bedroom is very flat along the bottom there, as you would expect. But once you get up into the bigger ones, there's not a huge amount of difference. Certainly in January, in that quieter month, it looks like everyone's struggling. The big gains are made once you come into March, and there's 2 Marches for some reason, and into April and into those summer months. The 6 bedroom property, you can see, really stands out. It starts kicking on from February onwards. It is making serious moves, and in June is doing over $5,000 in 1 month, compared to the 1 bedroom, which is just over $1,000 a month. You can see here that the vast majority of the revenue of the type of property is a house. Don't know why that is. Again, I don't know Toledo, but maybe there are just lots of houses here that lend themselves to doing Airbnb. Tiny amounts of apartments, almost no B&Bs, and almost nothing unique there. Could be an opportunity if you're bringing something like a treehouse or something to the market to stand out, because there's not much competition in that category type. And again, you can see the split of the average daily rate over the year. Not too bad around the autumn time, or fall as you're going to call it in America, but it absolutely nosedives in winter. In January and February, no one is coming to Toledo, Ohio. In fairness, this is just for 3 months, and then it's a massive pickup again back in April, in spring, and remains pretty steady the whole way through the summer. Average daily rate by bedroom. So again, real chunky differences here for the 6 bedroom property. I would imagine that because there are so few of those, the results that it's given AirDNA is massively just jumping about their graph here. That does not seem like there are enough data points in there to have a nice, smooth, reliable line. It certainly seems like the most consistent is the 5 bedroom. You can see that it's consistently flat, straight, reliable, and higher than almost every other property type. It's even higher than 6-bedroom. This breaks it down into price tiers, so budget, economy, mid-scale, upscale, and luxury. Luxury is smashing it and having the highest nightly rates, but I always say, if you're saying that a place is luxury, it absolutely has to be luxury. I think it's almost better to go for this upscale, which you still get the much higher nightly rates, but you don't get the most demanding guest that you're going to experience in this business. Now, let's just look into some of these because I really want to see what a property looks like in Toledo, Ohio, and I would especially like to see some of these 4-bedroom houses. Now, as I always say, if you're trying to get a place in an area, try and get it as close to where the word is on Google Maps as possible. So here we can see Toledo. Let's see what is near here and how they are doing, and hopefully they are doing the best. Not a good start, although it's brand new. 1 review, 5 out of 5, 3K list revenue. This one looks new as well. There are a lot of brand new listings in here. So these are showing in downtown Toledo. These aren't amazing numbers, to be honest. This is a 1-bedroom, this is a 0-bedroom, but these numbers aren't massive. They're not blowing my socks off. Again, a 1-bedroom, relatively established, 12K revenue, not amazing. It's a 3-bedroom house. This place has been going for a long time, 429 reviews. It's only charging $89 a night though. This looks like an amazing location, right on a river, beside a park. I'm struggling to see why this place isn't doing better, or certainly higher nightly rates and higher revenue. It certainly seems like if you've got a 1-bedroom property, even if it's in downtown, even if it's on a great location looking over a river, it's not going to pull in the numbers that the 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, and 6-bedroom properties, maybe slightly out of town, are going to achieve. Yeah, I'm struggling to find anywhere that's surprising me in downtown Toledo. I'm disappointed with that, but there we go. It is what it is. Last up, we go to Dalen the Angry Sauerkraut, to Pinneberg, Schleswig-Holstein in Germany. I hope I pronounced that right. Okay, so for the last of our locations, we're in Kreis-Pinneberg, I'm hoping that is, in Germany, near Hamburg. We've got a score of 73, average revenue of $25,000. Why is that showing in dollars and not euros? Occupancy rate of 61%, average daily rate of $148. This looks good, this looks fine. This looks like a very sort of rural part of Germany. We can see, again, almost 2/3 of all properties on Airbnb are 1-bedroom. Only 10% are 3-bedroom, and even less are 4 or 5. Only 393 listings, which is very small. It must be a small area in a part of Germany. And again, it's a relatively short length of stay. So 3 days, goes up to 4 days in February for some reason. Booking lead time 72 days. That's insane. Like, people are really planning ahead here to go visit this place. Now, this is interesting. Again, very flat occupancy throughout the year. Dips down in January. Must get cold in Germany, but very, very flat the rest of the year, which is interesting. Average length of stay, it's the highest in February, which actually is probably one of the lowest occupancy months, and then coming into spring that dips down. Now, these aren't massive changes, it dips down to like 3.2 compared to 3.8. Not a huge difference there. And again, we can see the 6-bedroom properties. This is a very chunky and all over the place line, so I would say because there are so few of those, we can almost discount them because they're not showing true figures that can be compared against the others, because there's so many more of the others. And even this 5-bedroom, it's very chunky, I would say, because there's so few data points there. It's not really that reliable to be looking at. So then we get down to the 1, 2, 3s and 4s, and then there is quite big differences, namely between the 4, which you can see really jumps up, starts making moves in March and really stays strong through spring and into the summer, compared to the 1-bedroom, who does move up gradually but is much more shallow increase. And then again, we can see the average daily rates compared from all these different property types or property sizes. So when is the busiest time? So it seems like December is quite a busy time. The 6-bed is doing $600 per night, whereas the 1-bed is just over $100 per night. Massive differences there. And now let's spend a bit of time having a wee look here at the properties in this area to see. So this is Pinneberg, and let's just see what properties are available, what they look like. So again, I'm looking through these and I can see that so many of these are like relatively new. This one's only got 9 reviews. It's hard to get reliable data from this to show what's possible. This one only has 4 reviews and $2,600 of revenue. Again, not reliable. 17 reviews, a bit more reliable. 2 bedrooms, 7K, 20% occupancy. It's not filling me with confidence. I want to see somewhere that has been operating for months or years, that has like at least over 50 reviews. This one only has 2. It's hard to get a proper idea of what's possible in an area when you're looking at places that are still new to the market, because they aren't. This is brand new. It doesn't even have any bookings. Like, no revenue. So this is the only place that I can find that's been operating the longest. It's got 30 reviews, all 5 stars. It's doing well. It's only a 1-bedroom property that sleeps 3 people. Its occupancy rate is 76%. It's not amazing. The daily rate is $107. It's not amazing. The average revenue over the year is 10.7. It's not amazing. But this seems like an area where there are just not enough data points for me to reliably say whether a place works or not. And like, I've looked in so many of these and I just can't find anything that is showing me an established property that has been going for a long time that I can look at and say, I've got confidence in this market, which is difficult, but that's why we use this thing. Now, if I was using AirDNA to research my area before I got started, I've done a quick run through of all of these areas. I will be going deep in, spending a lot of time looking at exactly what size of property works the best, when is the peak times and low times, if there are any, and what my average nightly rates can be. There is a cost for this service, but it is an investment because the data that it provides, I hope I've been able to show you, is invaluable. There is no way you would be able to find all this information out if you were just snooping around in Airbnb yourself. You would be able to see those listings, but you wouldn't be able to see how booked they were and what nightly rates that they were actually achieving and what revenue they've already got. So if you're at the start of your journey, use AirDNA. Also dig around in Airbnb and do it the free way. But the next thing you need to do is watch this video where I'm going to show you everything that I know about once you've actually found the property, how to run the business. I'll see you next time.